Hi, this is Grace Allen. Please leave a message.
Mom? Where are you guys?
911, what is your emergency?
My mom never came home from her trip. I don't know where she is. I'm calling about a guest you had.
Espere, ¿no habla español?
Does anyone speak English?
I'm sorry.
This is Elijah Park.
Please, I need your help.
The FBI doesn't have jurisdiction to investigate in Colombia.
So is there anything I can do?
The best thing you can do to help us is just wait by your phone.
Say hi, Mommy.
Hi, Junebug.
I'm not giving up on my mom.
So Missing. So I heard about this movie for a little bit, and I know it's from the same people who made Searching, which I still haven't seen. But I was intrigued with what that movie looked like. I mean, in story and in characters, but ultimately I was just like, you know what? It takes place all on a computer, and the one other movie that I saw where it did that, and I was like, yeah, you guys gave me just stupid characters that I don't care about, and that was Unfriended. So yeah, I don't know. I think it works, to have, an entire movie on, like take place on your computer. I think it is interesting. Oh no, there's two movies. The first one was Unfriended. The other one that I think worked better was Host, which, yeah, that film is really good, and it's less than an hour too. So, yeah, that one's from the same director as Dashcam, which, go check out my review for that one. But Missing. This one was kind of a last minute thing. I was going like, yeah, I don't really want to see this in theater because it takes place all on a computer. You can literally just watch this on your TV or your phone, or if you want to be super meta, yeah, watch it on your computer. But so I went into it and I was thoroughly impressed. I was very impressed on what they did. So this movie is about a mother and daughter, and both of them have been, mainly the daughter has been kind of processing her dad's death, and they kind of have a little strained relationship. Like the mother's trying to be like, you can talk to me, like trying to be a parent, and the daughter being a teenager, just wants to be by herself and party all the time, so just be a rebel, I guess. But after the mom and her boyfriend that she's seeing go on vacation, the daughter just has a party going on, like has people over and stuff like that. But then when she goes to try to pick them up at LAX, which, by the way, the LAX shots, that's not LAX. But, it's a movie. And it's Los Angeles. It is expensive to shoot there, even though it's the home of movies. But when she gets there, she doesn't find them, and then she finds out that they went missing. So now it becomes a hunt for time and, how much can she figure out where her mother is. So it not only becomes a super, like, it becomes like a thriller, but it also becomes a race against the clock, because it's very much like, oh, this source will only have this available for this amount of time, so we got to hurry up and get it, and get this source. So it does become a race against the clock, because one small movement or one small move can just completely shatter everything they worked for, and on trying to find her mom, and she may not find her again. So it's stressful. and I was thoroughly impressed with what they did. The daughter is played by Storm Reid, who pops up in the Last of Us TV show. But the only other thing I remember her in was Disney's A Wrinkle in Time, which, we don't need to talk about that. Because I can tell a whole story about that. But moving on. So I was like, why does she look familiar? And then I looked at the credits. I'm like, oh, because it's her. All right. And I think she's much better in this. But, moving on. It really thoroughly impressed me. I went into this going like, okay, like it's going to be a typical thriller, and they're going to do all this stuff on the computer. And they do, but they also use their brains. And throughout the movie, when, a situation came up that it was almost like, how are you going to get through this one? She then uses her brains, and I'm like, oh, that's smart. Like, okay, that's clever. I see what you guys are doing. That's cool. So I was very taken back on how much thought and how every detail in this went unnoticed. It reminded me of Bullet Train, where like every detail was unnoticed, was not ignored in that one. This one, it's the same thing, but it's all on a computer. So I was thoroughly impressed with what they did. It is almost 2 hours. So if you don't want to kind of look at a computer screen for 2 hours in the theater, I would say this was a good experience to go see in the theater, but to me, it would kind of be more effective at home. Like I said, watching on your TV or whatever electronic device you have. And like I said, if you want to be meta, watch it on your computer or your laptop or whatever. But this, every minute in this movie where I thought they were going to fumble or they were going to be lazy, they turned it on its head and went, oh, you think we're going to be lazy? Well, let's throw this at you. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So you guys are actually using your brains on this. I'm glad. And some of this movie also has quite a bit of twists and turns where, when they start unraveling everything, I was like, oh man, that's messed up. Because you find out that it's a bigger plan. It's like, oh, okay. And yeah, especially the third act when they just drop everything on you. It's like a, oh boy, like this isn't good. But it keeps you in suspense, and I'm very glad that it does that. And yeah, like I said, I was thoroughly impressed with what they did in this. So it makes me want to go watch Searching. And yeah, because when they were promoting this, they're like, oh, we're the same people that did this. And I was like, I still haven't seen that, but I've heard it's really good. And a lot of people said that this is on par with Searching. So if Searching is pretty much the same way as this, then, I'll be thoroughly impressed with that one. Like I said, there's only been 2 movies that I've seen that take place on a computer that to me worked. And it was this and Host. And Unfriended, when they were what they were trying to do was, trying to give you all these characters where you don't care about them, which is the problem I had, and just make them just pull out secrets. And I would have enjoyed that movie more if they didn't make everybody unlikable. And so when secrets are being pulled out and then they start getting picked off, I was like, I don't really feel it. I mean, it's cool that you're using practical, but you know, it's like I don't feel anything. With this one, you do, because you know, especially if you know, if you're a mother, you are very, you want to make sure like your child is protected at all costs, is safe at all costs. And you know, if you go missing, you're thinking about your child. But it switches, and instead, you know, the daughter is trying to find, you know, her mom. And yeah, more details about like past events, you know, transpire, but it works quite well, and I was thoroughly impressed with what they did. And this gets a grade. And this, so far it's only been January and February, and a lot of movies have been coming out that I really liked, which is awesome. So yeah, this was really good, but I would say wait until this comes like, you know, on demand, or you can rent it or buy it, and I think it'll work quite well there.
The strangest case I've ever seen.
There may be more than meets the eye.
There are some legit questions.
Hey, Junebug. There's actually a lot I want to talk with you about.
Oh my God, someone's here.